everyone and welcome back. First of all, I have a new background. I know it is so boring, but I'm just sick of the background that I had, which was the sofa, where it just didn't look very nice at all. And this is kind of the only bit in the flat that I've got to film that is a basically blank wall where the light is coming from the right direction. And I'm sure the lighting is still off in this video. I don't really have a professional setup, so I'm just making do. So just bear with me for a couple of videos while I get used to the setup. I am hoping to get like a picture or something to put behind me so it looks a lot nicer, but I just thought I had to address that really quickly before I move on to what the video is actually about, and that is a review on the new, relatively new MUA Luxe kind of glow range, which has been out for about a month. I did actually originally film this video when these products first came out. I was out of focus for the whole thing, but I'm quite glad that that didn't work, that video, because I actually said that I didn't like one of the products as a first impressions, but then when I actually went away and tried it, it's probably now one of my all-time like holy grail products. So I'm going to start with that one, and this is the MUA Luxe Glow Beam Liquid Highlight Cushion. I know that cushion makeup isn't a relatively new thing, but it's quite new to the high street, and this basically plays on that concept, but it's actually a highlighter. I will firstly say I don't like the packaging at all. The product itself is amazing. This was £5 I believe, but one thing I didn't actually know was I got this from Superdrug, and if you're a student you get a 10% discount all the time in Superdrug, providing you have an NUS card. That's good, but that's bad because I'm going to end up spending so much money in Superdrug. So it does have a mirror, which I'm going to try and not blind you. And then it has a cushion, not a cushion, I cannot think what these are called, like a powder puff, but it's more silicone-y, it isn't like fabric-y, if that makes any sort of sense. And then it has a stopper, and then just a kind of like protective tab, but I probably am going to get rid of this. I don't really think it adds anything. I was just keeping it on for the video. And then this is the product itself, and it's just a cushion highlighter. I'm going to insert swatches of everything now, and this just adds the most beautiful subtle glow to your skin. But I haven't actually been using this as a highlighter per se. What I do with this is when I apply my foundation just before I set it, I will put this product basically all under my eyes and almost along the whole of my face, almost as like an extreme like contour, and then I will apply it all over my forehead, and then I will set it with whatever powder I'm using. It just adds the most beautiful glow to your skin. I absolutely love this product, and for £5 I think it is such a great deal. One thing that I'm a bit hesitant about was how long it will last before it goes bad, because I imagine cushion makeup being even less sanitary than liquid makeup in terms of how quickly the bacteria can get into it and it goes bad. So I think this is probably only going to last me a couple of months before it goes bad, but luckily I'm using this every time I wear makeup, so I do think I am going to use it up before then. Moving on to the next two, these are a bit hit and miss. I'm going to start with the one that's absolutely terrible, and this is the MUA Luxe Radiant Illuminating Highlighting Kit, and this was £5 again I believe. Again, I don't like the packaging at all, but this is the only packaging that is black and gold instead of the white and gold, which, given that these were all launched together, I'm not really sure why this one is a bit different in terms of the packaging. And with this you get 6 highlighting powders. So this is what they look like. They're basically arranged for all skin tones, but these are absolutely terrible. They're just almost matte. There's no highlights in them at all, and it's just rubbish. Like MUA do have some really good highlighters, so this one kind of just fell a bit flat. I think if you're looking for a similar palette to this, Makeup Revolution have a new highlighting palette out which is absolutely beautiful. I actually have that to film a first impressions of as well, but this is just absolutely terrible. There's no good thing to say about it other than I like the packaging in terms of that there's no wasted space, but the products themselves, again I'm going to insert a close-up, but this is just a few of them swatched. There's just no shimmer to them at all. They just don't add any sort of luminosity to the skin at all, so this one I would definitely say give a miss. And then the last one is the MUA Luxe Glow Beam Highlighting Powder. This is the one that I haven't really made my mind up on yet. So with this, it's kind of got the concept that you would twist it and the powder would come out. The only problem with that being is that mine is actually broken, so none of the powder actually comes out, so I don't really know how I'm going to use this, and I'd only used it a couple of times before it did that. But this is what the powder itself looks like. Again, I'm going to insert a close-up, and it's pretty, and I think it is going to add a really nice highlight, but it's just so impractical. I don't see why they needed to put it in this sort of packaging. I guess they could say because obviously if you have a whole kind of pot of highlight in a loose powder form, it could be quite easy to overdo it. So I see the kind of logic behind it, but if the packaging doesn't work, the product is basically useless. And this was £5 again, so I think if I can find a way to get this to work, this would be a really good product. It's just the packaging that lets it down. So I would say if you're going to get anything, get the cushion highlighter, but again, unless you have basically flawless skin and you're just going to wear it on your own to highlight your skin, it's not really going to do much, especially if you like a very vibrant highlighter. So how I got it to work was basically, like I said, just using it to highlight almost under my eyes and the kind of top half of my face or anywhere where the light would naturally fall, and it just adds a really pretty subtle glow to your skin. And like I said, I'm now using that every time I wear makeup and I love it. The other two, I haven't really been able to use them enough yet to give a full impression, but I hope that this was relatively helpful to all of you if you are thinking of trying out this range. But I would say definitely give the palette a miss. It's naff. I can't think of any good things to say about it at all, I'm sorry. I don't like giving bad reviews, but I didn't want to obviously say it's amazing when it isn't. So that was my very quick review of the new MUA Luxe highlighting range. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.